Terel went on to achieve top 1% in the Cupertino office, which is our largest office, our most productive office. And if you think about it right now, with Intero being a global brand, offices in London, Shanghai, Hong Kong, he's top 1% of the #1 office in the world.
One thing that really stands out for us is when we were selling the Raines place is we did have multiple offers on it. The high bidder was somebody who was really interested in the place, and Terel was able to catch right on to that. And when he comes up to us and he says, well, I'll tell you what, I think what we should do is just counter this person. For 10 grand more, will really seal the deal for you. And to our surprise, and it was a little bit of risk, no doubt, going in with asking for 10 grand more. When they were the high bidder, those buyers, they jumped on it. And we ended up with 10 grand more for Lorraine's place. Terel's integrity comes out in so many different ways. It comes out when he's negotiating. He respects people, he's very professional but can be firm, and that integrity carries a transaction through.
So Terel was able to sell 2 homes for us. We were able to buy this home, and so we really value his negotiation, his decision making, and we feel that he's just not out there for the commission. He's in there for the whole deal and to take care of us as his customers. And so that's why we felt really comfortable, and we never looked back. If we buy another home, we'll definitely contact Terel, definitely.
And I think there was a warmth to Terel that was, despite the fact that we hadn't met before, he makes people feel at ease very, very quickly. And I think that it's kind of, you can't really, it's one of those things that you just connect when you first meet, and I think that's how we felt with him.
You know a person who has integrity when you start working with that person, and we definitely felt that with Terel.
You can't fake being genuine. And that's something in my business. I do a services business with a large company, and you just can't fake when someone's genuine. And that came through with him immediately.
I know what you want to get done in the house. I know a number of contractors that I can refer. Why don't you hand me the key when we close, and we can work remotely, and I'll project manage this entire move for you from the day we close until you guys get here, so you can open the door and walk into your home. And so over the span of 6 weeks, we had a number of contractors coming in doing anywhere from minor to fairly significant amount of work in the home, and it was all project managed by Terel. And we worked over email, and we worked over some phone calls late at night, early in the morning, given the time difference. But Terel just took it and ran with it, and it just says a lot to his integrity, I think, that he was willing to step up and do that for us and do it right.
And for me as a mom, it was key knowing that I could take my 2 children who were 2 and 4 at the time, and we could get off the plane from Tokyo and not have to go to a hotel or temporary housing, but get off the plane and walk into our front door and say, this is your new home. And so all we had to do was move in and buy a Christmas tree.
Terel is, to me, like family. Like, he's part of us, and he explained everything, and he's just the perfect real estate agent.
And he said, if you fall in love with the house, I will be that objective person saying, hey, you guys will run around the yard and say, I love it, I could see ourselves living here for 25 years, and I'll be the person checking the studs, I'll be the one checking the paint, the roof, and things like that. He did things so quickly. When he said he'd get back to us, he would get back to us. Obviously, each step of the way, there were things that I was just like, what is this? What are these papers? What is this phrase? Or what does closing mean? And he was very easily accessible, and always very patient with my 1,000,001 questions. So for me at that point, that was very comforting. And I remember just like watching TV that night going, okay, we feel really good going forward with this.
Wasn't looking for someone to kind of tell us what we wanted to hear, but really what the actual state of the market was. And Terel was very honest about that, because it was such a soft market that it would take a while for it to be sold. But because Terel was very confident in his pricing point suggestions and all of the things that he suggested us to do and what we need to do to get it, back on the market and to go quickly, shocked, actually. We had such a good offer coming in so quickly. Yeah, I mean, literally, he just tell us what's going to happen, it happened, and then he tell us where to show up, what to do. That's all we had to do. I mean, it was super easy. We're both in the service industry for our jobs, and so we understand what it means, you know, to provide good service, customer service, and making the customer happy. Terel was definitely the first service in general that we've referred to our friends.
You know, when I first met Terel Beppu was in my Principles of Real Estate class, and here was this guy that had spent about 10 years in public accounting and wanted to become a realtor. So, you know, you always wonder how people are going to do when that happens. Terel comes in, and we have this great training class that we just developed the year before called Pervisio, Italian word which means aspiring to something great. Anyways, Terel comes in, and right from the start, he hits the ground running, and he gets everybody's attention because he's putting the numbers on the board, one after another after another. In fact, of all the brand new agents that we hired that year, and there were quite a few, okay, Terel was the top new agent. So he got an award called the Rookie of the Year for all those agents. And then furthermore, I believe in his very first year, he was rated in the top 5% of all Intero's agents. So he got my attention right off the bat. You know, Terel Beppu one day will get the Value Award for Intero. And what that Value Award is, it's our most prestigious award, but it's the award that we give to the agent that exemplifies or embodies the 15 values of Intero, such as integrity, compassion, loyalty, team, you know, enthusiasm, competency. Those are some of the things that I see in Terel, and I know one day I will be on stage presenting that award to Terel Beppu. You know, I saw right away these great qualities in Terel. I mean, how he took care of his customers, how he always put their interests first. I mean, he was a servient leader. And so I began to encourage him and actually mentor him with the idea that one day he could be a leader at Intero.
So Terel instills trust. He's very professional. He's somebody who we counted on and we were very successful in our business transactions with, and we'd recommend him to anybody.
It's rare to find someone who cares so much about their job. It's not just a job, but he was really helping us to find a home. He knew our family, he knew what we were looking for, and just a genuine person.
You know, he's an all-around good guy, and I think he really knows his stuff. And, you know, I wouldn't hesitate to recommend him to anybody who is looking for a realtor because, absolutely, I mean, you would be in good hands.
It doesn't hurt that, you know, Terel's a good guy, but it doesn't hurt that we got a good house with a great price and he was able to negotiate and walk us through the process. So, you know what I mean, I don't mind working with the good guy, but if the good guy can't get you a good deal and can't do it, so that helps. I mean,
absolutely.
All kidding aside, that really helps.
Terel is professional, talented, you know, great integrity, absolutely highly recommended. I can't say enough about it.
He was like a friend helping us find a home, you know, our first home.
There's an intangible in people, okay? Terel Beppu is what I would consider a great human being, a great person, okay? He just happens to sell real estate. He just happens to have been a CPA, okay? He just happens to be a great dad and husband with two great kids. Okay? But he's just a great human being, and that's the best starting point in any career.